Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're focusing on an essential part of your home that often gets overlooked, your chimney. You know, that thing sticking out of your roof? Yeah, that's important. A lot of folks just figure it'll take care of itself, but that's just asking for trouble. We're talking cracks, leaks, even fire hazards if you don't stay on top of things. Now, I'm all for saving a buck and tackling projects yourself, so today I'm gonna guide you through some common chimney repairs you can handle without calling in the pros. We'll take it step by step. Make sure you know what to look for, the right tools for the job, and most importantly, how to do it right the first time. Let's dive in. Alright, first things first, gotta know what you're dealing with. We're talking about a full-on chimney inspection here. Don't wait for a problem to hit you in the face. Be proactive. I want you to get up on that roof at least twice a year, spring and fall, and give your chimney a good once-over. What are we looking for? Start with the obvious. Cracks in the masonry. Even hairline cracks, don't ignore them. They can turn into big headaches down the road. Check the flashing too. That's the metal bit connecting the chimney to the roof. It should be watertight, no rust, no gaps. And while you're up there, check the chimney cap. It's like a hat for your chimney, keeps out rain, animals, all sorts of unwanted guests. If it's damaged or missing, replace it ASAP. Remember, early detection saves you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. So, you found some cracks, huh? Don't panic, it's all part of the game. Small cracks are pretty easy to fix yourself. You'll need some high-quality masonry crack filler, and make sure it's specifically designed for chimneys. Gotta use the right stuff. Before you start slapping it on, clean that crack out real good. Get rid of any loose debris, dirt, anything that'll mess with the filler bonding properly. Once it's clean, apply the filler according to the instructions on the package. You want a smooth, even finish. Now, if you're dealing with larger cracks, say anything wider than 1/4 inch, you're gonna need something stronger. That's where mortar mix comes in. It's a bit more involved, but hey, you're a DIYer, you got this. Just remember, preparation is key. Clean the crack thoroughly, dampen it slightly, and then apply the mortar mix. You want to pack it in tight and make sure it's flush with the surrounding brick. Once it's dry, you can smooth it out and your chimney will be good as new. Remember, whether you're using filler or mortar, let it cure completely before using your fireplace. Read those instructions, folks. A leaky chimney is a recipe for disaster. Water damage is nothing to mess with. It can lead to mold, rot, you name it. So if you spot any leaks, gotta act fast. 9 times out of 10, the culprit is the flashing. Remember that metal part we talked about earlier? Yeah, it takes a beating from the elements, and over time it can crack, warp, or just plain wear out. First things first, inspect the flashing carefully. If it's just a small tear or hole, you might be able to get away with some roofing cement. Clean the area thoroughly, apply the cement, and make sure it's sealed tight. But if the flashing is seriously damaged, best to replace the whole thing. It's not as tough as it sounds, trust me. Just gotta be careful and use the right tools. While you're at it, check the chimney cap too. If it's damaged or missing, it's like leaving the door wide open for water to get in. Replace it with a new one that fits snugly over the chimney opening. Chapter 4. Cleaning out the chimney. Alright, let's talk about chimney hygiene. Just like you wouldn't go months without cleaning your bathroom, you shouldn't neglect your chimney. Over time, soot, creosote, that nasty, flammable stuff, and all sorts of debris build up in there. It's a fire hazard waiting to happen. Now you can tackle this yourself with a chimney brush. Get one that's the right size for your flue and get scrubbing. Start from the top and work your way down, dislodging all that gunk. Wear a mask, you don't want to be breathing that stuff in. If you're not comfortable doing it yourself, or if you've got a particularly stubborn buildup, call in a chimney sweep. They've got the tools and expertise to get the job done right. Think of it like this. A clean chimney means a safer home and a more efficient fireplace. And who doesn't love a roaring fire on a cold winter's night? Chapter 5. Repointing loose mortar joints. Now let's talk about those mortar joints. That's the stuff that holds the bricks together, and over time it can start to crumble and deteriorate. We're talking about loose or missing mortar. It's like a weak link in the chain. The good news is, repointing those joints is a job you can handle. First, you gotta remove the old, crumbling mortar. A masonry chisel and a hammer will be your best friends here. Just be careful not to damage the bricks themselves. Once you've got a clean slate, mix up some fresh mortar, and again, make sure it's specifically designed for chimneys. Then, using a pointing trowel, carefully apply the mortar to the joints, packing it in tight. Smooth it out with the joining tool, and make sure it's flush with the surrounding mortar. This ain't about speed, it's about precision. A good repointing job will keep your chimney strong and weather-resistant for years to come. Chapter 6. Repairing or replacing the chimney crown. Alright, let's move on up to the chimney crown. This is the very top part of the chimney, kind of like a hat that protects it from the elements. If the crown is cracked or damaged, water can seep in and wreak havoc on your chimney. Now, if the damage is minimal, you might be able to get away with a good waterproof masonry sealant. Clean the surface thoroughly, apply the sealant according to the instructions, and you're good to go. But if the crown is in rough shape, you're better off replacing the whole thing. Don't worry, it's not as daunting as it sounds. You can buy precast concrete crowns that fit right over your existing chimney. Just make sure you measure carefully and get the right size. Once you've got the new crown in place, seal it up tight with some high-quality sealant, and you've got yourself a watertight chimney that'll stand the test of time. Now, this is where things get serious. If you notice any major structural issues with your chimney, we're talking leaning, bulging, or anything that just doesn't look right, stop what you're doing and call in the professionals. These kinds of problems are usually caused by foundation issues, serious weather damage, or just plain old age. Trust me, this is not the time for DIY heroics. You need an experienced structural engineer or a qualified contractor to assess the situation and come up with a safe and effective repair plan. They might need to reinforce the chimney, rebuild it from scratch, or even address underlying foundation problems. It's going to be a bigger job, but safety first, always. Remember, when it comes to structural issues, it's better to be safe than sorry. Get the experts involved and have peace of mind knowing your home is in good hands. Chapter 8. Checking and replacing the chimney liner. Now, let's talk about the chimney liner. You might not be able to see it, but it's there, inside your chimney, working hard to protect your home from heat and those nasty byproducts of combustion. Over time, the liner can crack, deteriorate, or even collapse, which can lead to chimney fires and other hazards. That's why it's so important to have your liner inspected regularly by a qualified professional. They'll use a special camera to get a good look inside the chimney and check the condition of the liner. If it's damaged, they'll recommend the best course of action, which might involve repairing or replacing the liner. Now, replacing a chimney liner is a big job, usually best left to the pros. They've got the specialized equipment and expertise to do it right. Remember, the chimney liner is your first line of defense against chimney fires, so don't neglect it. Chapter 9. Ensuring proper draft. Let's talk about chimney draft. You want that smoke going up and out, not coming back into your living room. Poor draft can be caused by a bunch of things, from a blocked flue to a faulty damper. First things first, make sure your damper is working properly. It should open and close smoothly, allowing you to control the airflow. If it's stuck or damaged, you'll need to repair or replace it. Next, check for any obstructions in the flue. Birds' nests, leaves, even a buildup of soot and creosote can restrict airflow. A good chimney brush or a professional cleaning can usually clear things out. If you're still experiencing draft issues, you might have a more serious problem, like a flue that's too narrow or a chimney that's not tall enough. In that case, you'll need to consult with a qualified chimney professional to find a solution. Chapter 10. Regular maintenance and inspections. All right, folks, we're nearing the finish line here. But before we wrap up, let's talk about the importance of regular chimney maintenance and inspections. Think of it like taking your car in for a tune-up. Just like you wouldn't drive your car for thousands of miles without changing the oil, you shouldn't neglect your chimney. Regular maintenance helps prevent small problems from turning into big, expensive headaches. I recommend getting your chimney professionally inspected at least once a year, preferably before the start of the heating season. A qualified chimney sweep will inspect your chimney from top to bottom, clean out any soot and creosote buildup, and identify any potential problems. They'll also check the flashing, the cap, the liner, and all the other components to make sure everything is in tip-top shape. Outrow, stay safe and warm. And that's it for our guide to chimney repair. With these tips, you can tackle common chimney issues and keep your home safe and warm. Remember, your chimney is a vital part of your home, so don't neglect it. A little bit of maintenance goes a long way in preventing costly repairs and ensuring the safety of your family. If you're ever in doubt, don't hesitate to call in a qualified professional. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more home improvement tips. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.